On Airtel Touching Lives tonight, we look at the alarming occurrence of cancer in Nigeria. We visit the St. Cyril Cancer Center in Lagos.
The situation of cancer in Nigeria is growing by the day.
There are so many women that have pushed out of their marriage because of this breast cancer.
I want to touch your life. I want to be the change. I'm going to shine my light. I'm going to make a difference. Touch your life. Be the change. Shine my light. And make a difference. You're the one to make the world a much better place. You're the one. You're the one. Touching lives.
Apart from the physical and emotional stress, effectively dealing with cancer can be very expensive. Fortunately, the St. Cyril Cancer Center provides free care for those who cannot afford their medication.
Touching lives.
The situation of cancer in Nigeria is growing by the day.
There are so many women that have pushed out of their marriage because of this breast cancer. Some are abandoned by their families, by their husbands.
Cancer as a disease in Nigeria is growing at a horrendous rate. It needs to be addressed because it's not going to reduce until something is done about prevention and also about awareness and early detection.
I am a breast cancer survivor 8 years ago.
I'm a survivor of cancer. I fought cancer and I overcame cancer.
When I found out that I had breast cancer, I was so frightened. But my family, they rallied around me, and they were all advising me and giving me hope that I'm going to come out of it. Though the chemotherapy is very, very expensive, and that really frightened me. And when we heard about this condition, we decided to come to solicit for financial help.
St. Cyril Cancer Treatment Foundation started the Isolo Clinic so that we can address the issue of treatment of cancer, as well as awareness, prevention, and screening. We want to give holistic care here, ensuring that patients are educated, or the populace is educated about what can cause cancer or what are the predisposing factors for cancer, then also have the ability to know where to get screened, and if they should have a positive outcome, to come here for their treatment. So we run the whole gamut from awareness through to treatment of patients at the Isolo Clinic.
Because of them, I don't know where I would have been without them. Because of them, my life have improved a lot. And now the first news actually gave us a shock. My husband and I were afraid that I was going to die. But when we had a series of testimony for others and some research we done, when we commenced the treatment, I undergo chemotherapy, 6 sections of chemotherapy, and 30 good days of radiotherapy. And after all that, through the grace of God, I'm alive, healed and healthy.
Cancer has always been in evidence in Nigeria, but before it was a taboo to talk about it. So many of the incidences were not realized until the patient passed away. So there was a high mortality rate. People were dying quite fast from it. But over the years, it has increased even more now because where our foods are not organic anymore, everything has a preservative. And this has led to a marked increment in cancers and also a lot of fat. We've been eating a lot of fat, and that's increased. For instance, it's known that the increase in fat, intake of fat, has increased breast cancer incidence in Nigeria. And now 1 in 8 persons in Nigeria is likely to get breast cancer, which is a horrific figure.
Actually, my medical team did just end with the medical treatment and financial support. They also supported me emotionally. There was a counseling program going on in that facility where I had my treatment, where people come, they counsel to encourage us, to share hope with us, and share their experience with us, and also encourage and teach our family members how well to take care of us during that trying time.
I've been a cancer care specialist for almost 40 years now. And over this period of time, it does not stop making my heart flutter every time I see somebody who needs treatment, can't have treatment, needs treatment, can't afford treatment, or needs treatment and is just not able to help themselves. And this is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, because it hits me where it hurts. And I felt initially helpless, but with doing this, I feel that I'm doing something, at least to help one person at a time to get better and have better chance of getting rid of their cancer and living a cancer-free life.
If not for this Civic Foundation Center, I would not be able to do anything. But they really helped me. Now I can do my business, I can take care of my children, I can take care of my husband, I can even take care of myself. I'm very grateful to this foundation hospital.
They support us emotionally. That gives us some kind of peace, calm in the storm at that particular time. So our hope were lifted up from their supporting us emotionally and of course morally, because challenges will come within the family. Where for instance, when I was on chemo, I thought I was going to die. And the any steps my husband take, then I'll be scared. Oh, one day I'm going to leave these children, and But because of the support emotionally, they were able to calm my spirit. So I was able to cope with challenges even in my family at that time.
My advice to every woman with these challenges is that they should not keep it within themselves. They should not shine. They should not fear. They should come to this Civic Foundation Center. They will help them to battle with it. They will help them to fight the breast cancer. They will help them to be free from the challenges. They should not fear. They should not hide it within themselves. Once they step into this hospital, there must be a solution to their problem.
The center is very new in the community and they need assistance from other organizations.
If we don't get the assistance that we require, less help will be rendered, and less help being rendered means that more patients, unfortunately, will die from cancer in Nigeria. And a lot of them will be unnecessary, but simply because there's no assistance for them.
If this center, St. Cyril Foundation Cancer Center, can get more support to equip this hospital, this clinic, I think it will go a long way in helping more patients to survive cancer.
It is not a disease that's going to go away in Nigeria, so it needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed immediately.
St. Cyril Cancer Center is doing amazing work at giving people a new lease of life. Join the conversation on social media and please interact with us. You'll find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Coming up after the break, I meet Mrs. Anima Shao, the founder and main activist at the center. Welcome back to Airtel Touching Lives. Joining me in the studio, we have Mrs. Anima Shao and Joy here with us. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good morning.
And thank you for being here again,
You're
because
welcome.
you've always come to share and spread the word about cancer care on the program. So really appreciate you being here and the amazing work that you're doing. You know, it's a free center and cancer care and treatment is so expensive. What are your challenges? How are you dealing with things?
Well, actually, our center is not completely free. The essence of it is that we pay for people who can't afford treatments. So those who can afford will get quality care at an affordable price. And then those who can't, we make sure that we get them treated. The whole point of it is that everybody who comes in, we try as much as possible not to have them go out without actually being treated.
Joy, I know that you're going through treatments.
I'm a survivor.
You're a survivor.
Yes.
What was your experience like?
Well, I will say the journey was not too sweet. But I thank God that when I met Sensuri, things changed for better. So then this journey became sweet, smooth, and by the grace of God, I overcame.
Ms. Animashaw, I know that when people think of cancer treatments, everyone's just talking about the physical aspects of it, but there's something your center does, which is about just providing emotional support for people as well. I want you to sort of talk a bit more about that and how that is integral to healing for survivors.
Well, we're very, very happy about that in St. Cyril, because that's what we bring to the fore, in that the belief is that treating with radiation or treating with the drugs is really not enough. You have to give a holistic treatment to the patient. You have to treat their psyche, you have to treat their emotional self, you have to just make sure that they're in a place that the treatment that you're giving them for the cancer is actually going to work. And they found that, studies have found that people who have a good support system actually respond a lot better than people who are alone or by themselves. And so that's why we try not to have patients want to be able to have centers and treatment centers that they can go home to their support system. They don't have to go abroad where it's just them and maybe one relation or something like that, which is really not good enough when you're going through something like cancer.
Joy, you know, when you were going through your treatments and your time, how would you say that the center supported you emotionally? Because I can't imagine how difficult that period would have been for you.
Yeah, well, no, when the news is broken that I had cancer, it was really, really challenging, because based on the belief we have in this part of our world, that when you have cancer, you don't survive it, you actually die. But when I met Sensuri, I would say they put my emotions right, because initially I was actually scared that I wouldn't make it, I was going to die. But Sensuri brought me up emotionally, helping me to overcome that fear, removing every doubt, giving me the faith that yes, you can make it. And with the support they gave to me, in all ways, at least it plays a major role on how I made it.
Mr. Animashaw, what's the future of the center?
This is just our beginning. This is our first center. Our mission is to make sure that centers like this are all over Nigeria, so people don't have far to go to be able to get quality treatment. And then we build up on that and get radiation therapy equipment, and then make sure that people can come and have the whole thing. They can just come to St. Cyril as a one-stop shop and get all the treatment that they need and have their holistic self looked after.
I think a lot of people get scared when they find out there's something wrong with them and it has to do with cancer because of the costs involved. And we always talk about it that, early detection is key. So, I mean, what do you want to say to people who are scared to go and get themselves checked or afraid that, just they're put off by cost of things as well?
Well, you have to take that first step. Nobody can take that first step for you. And once my advice would be, don't look at the whole picture. Just look at that step that says, I'm going to go and get an ultrasound, or I'm going to go and get a biopsy. Just take them one step at a time. And the issue is, if you want things about the cost as well, then you get discouraged. But look for solutions in baby steps, in little areas. Get your chemotherapy, then get the radiotherapy, and just don't look at it. There's a lot of support from people, from NGOs like St. Cyril that would want you to win. They want you to be treated. They want you to get better. So we would do all we can. We're putting funds aside to be able to help patients, aside from having the centers, to be able to ensure that we can help them. We want to be able to help them so that they can get money out of their salary month on month, but still be able to have their treatment. We want to make sure that even talking to banks and asking them to bankroll, or there are different things that we're looking at now and in the future, just to ensure that, because time is of the essence, to ensure that once that patient walks in the door, within a few weeks, they are ready, they start getting their treatment.
Joy, if you didn't come in contact with St. Cyril Center, what do you think would have happened to you?
Wow. Well, I would say the worst would have happened. But I thank God that I came in contact with St. Cyril, and St. Cyril helped me a lot, emotionally, financially, because there are some times when it was very difficult to cope with the treatment schedule, but they came to our aid, and I was able to get my treatment done without any delay. Even financially, cancer treatment is about emotion, your physical treatment, and your diet. Even sometimes I find it difficult, to even cope with the diet when it comes to cancer. But in their way, St. Cyril helped a lot.
I mean, it sounds like there's a holistic program,
yes,
that you offer. And how important is that in treatments?
It's very vital. Like I said, it can't be it can't be overemphasized, because it changes. Joy will tell you that it changes your life. Once you have that, you realize that you have cancer. You have to have a life change. So to help you get from that person, your pre-cancerous person, to this new person who can live a perfectly normal, perfectly happy, even doing more things than you did before, life. We walk that journey with you. We walk it with your treatment. We walk it with our psycho-oncologists. We walk it with our counselors. We walk it with our dietitians. So all these people are come on your team. They are rooting for you, and they are making sure that the best treatment is given, whether you come in early with a stage 1 cancer or you come in with a stage 4 cancer. Whatever the stage, every day your quality of life is the best that it can be.
It is so incredible to see that an organization like St. Cyril Cancer Center is constantly doing its best to give people a new lease of life. You can follow the conversation on our website, or make sure you follow us on social media. You'll find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Coming up after the break, we'll find out how Airtel will touch the lives of St. Cyril Cancer Center and its many patients. Welcome back to Airtel Touching Lives. We still have with us in the studio representatives from St. Cyril Cancer Center. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I really just need to applaud you for all the work you're doing, because even prior to the center, you've been doing so much when it comes to cancer care and treatment. So I want to thank you for the amazing work that you're doing. I want to thank you also, Joy, for sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
As I know that for many of us, people don't come out and talk about their experiences of dealing with pain or cancer and those sorts of things. So really appreciate you being here. You're going to help a lot of people who are watching the program.
Thank you.
And of course, Airtel would like to touch your lives and just support the amazing work that you're already doing. This is even also an opportunity to reach, people who are watching, to reach out and want to do more. So what Airtel wants to do for you is that we're going to provide you with chemotherapy pumps and drip stamps. We will provide you the flat screen TV.
Wow.
We will also provide you with nursing consumables.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
And we will furnish the waiting area and patient's room.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. On behalf of the so many people who are going to benefit from this, I thank you. I thank you.
What do you think this is going to do for the center?
Whew.
Take your time, Francine. You need to breathe, catch your breath.
It's not been easy. It hasn't been easy. I don't know the last time I saw my paycheck to be able to do something with it, but it's so gratifying, and this is going to make it so much easier for those patients, because I mean, no matter what I am going through, financially, physically, it's nowhere near what they're going through, and this is going to make it so much easier for them. Somebody's sitting. We don't have a television in the chemo room right now, and they're sitting there for hours. So somebody who's sitting there, they can now watch Airtel on television. They can, it just makes it easier. Consumables, all the things that you're going to provide are going to make so many people it's going to change their lives. It really is going to touch their lives, literally. Thank you.
Joy, I mean, I can see you smiling, and you've been a beneficiary of all the good work that they're doing. For somebody else who went through, what you went through, how do you think this is going to help them?
Wow, it's going to be amazing, honestly. You imagine in a place where you getting treated and you relax, watching all kinds of movies that that'll take your mind off what you're going through at that moment. It's really going to be amazing. I really appreciate Airtel for their contribution to St. Cyril.
And thank you again. Thank you so much for being here. And we have come to the end of today's program. I am so thankful to St. Cyril Cancer Center for the amazing work they're doing. And if you're out there and you can support their work, please do. All right, until next time, you've been watching Airtel Touching Lives.
My husband, Lukman, is a promising young chef. He got sick when he was young, and since then, he lost his hearing and ability to speak. Things has not been easy for him.
Lukman has just recently been evicted, taken out of his business.
He formerly had a shop. The house was demolished and was sold to someone else. And since then, things have just been too hard.
I am so grateful to Airtel for all the things that they have given us. You will be amazed at the hundreds of lives in a very short time that is going to make a difference to.
I'm gonna shine my